As young graduates have taken jobs in the upmarket media and in politics, business, and education, they have brought with them a horror of feeling, quote, unsafe, and an agenda obsessed with a narrow vision of obtaining justice for oppressed identity groups. They have also brought along tactics to enforce ideological purity by no platforming their enemies and canceling allies who have transgressed.
I have been called a white supremacist by white people. Now, I don't know if you have realized this or not, but I am black. Can the people in the back see that I'm black? I just want to make sure. Okay, got it? All right, good, fantastic. So, less dramatically, I've also been called conservative as a slur, right? But the thing is, I've never identified as conservative in my life. There's nothing wrong with being a conservative. I have always seen myself as a left-leaning moderate, but today that means I'm a Nazi.
We have evidence of this, very good studies that have documented the willingness of faculty to discriminate against political minorities. Now, I would actually include that when you look at political minorities today, it's not just people on the right. There are examples of, there's a professor at Brooklyn College, Casey Johnson, who is in no sense a conservative, but a very distinguished historian who was denied tenure. He was overturned by, I think, the Board of Trustees, but he just happened to disagree with the hiring preferences of his department.
I'm called these things because of a concept called prescriptive racism. What is this? Prescriptive racism is, well, when someone has a script and prescribes characteristics onto you, and if you don't embrace those characteristics, there's something wrong with you. You're inauthentic.
Eventually, it can lead to corruption of the science itself. So I've recently seen a seminar on decolonial feminist science. And what that means is you apply the scientific method, but if it leads to a conclusion that's inconsistent with feminist or decolonialist theory, then that negates the scientific method. And so that's a pretty basic corruption of the scientific process, and that's becoming popular now.
The faculty think the university is for them. The university is for the people of Ohio, and you're their trustees. You're the people's trustees. And you have to stand up to the faculty.
The task before us is to mend our flaws, and the remedies are also before us. We need only the will to apply them, and that's where brave and bold and selfless trustees come in.
The faculty are going to tell you that, in one way or another, that you're clueless, and you have no business telling faculty how to hire faculty.
Faculty will openly admit in surveys that they will discriminate against conservatives in hiring, and that they refuse to have lunch with someone who is pro-life or voted for Trump, or associate with them in any way, for example.
A specific example of that in my field is the demonization of standard English, specifically written standard English. Now, one of the reasons I've been called a white supremacist, actually this was the first reason, is because I dared say that standard English might come in handy in civic and professional contexts sometime in the students' lives, now and after they graduate. So maybe they should have that skill somewhere, whether they actually use it or not, I don't know, but they should probably have it. I'm Hitler.
We're taking up a topic that is front and center for what colleges and universities have to accomplish. And that's urgent, because the nation is impatient with the shout-downs, the cancellations, the silencing, the deplatforming of all those speakers who are not aligned with campus orthodoxies. And we are very, very grateful to Senator Serino for his vision in advancing legislation to enhance intellectual diversity, and for convening us today in this important forum.
We can't let this continue. Some people have chosen to ignore or deny that we have this issue, but we do. We have a monolithic thought environment at most of our universities, and not in everyone and not in every person working in the university, certainly. But that is pretty well recognized right now. And that is something that we're attempting to change.